Hi there, it's Sally from Rickety Snippets here, and today I'm going to create another spread in my Dragon Junk journal, and it's going to be very much about the gold because I found in my cupboard some gold leaf and I thought yes, it is time to bling up the dragons. So as usual, I'm using the printables from the Dragon Junk Journal kit, so the gold edition kit from Rickety Snippets, and the link for that is below. And there's also a link to sign up to my VIP list where you can get 40% off the kit. So all of that is in the description. So let's get started. Move that out of the way. So I've printed out couple of tags. One of them I think I'm going to use as a kind of pocket tuck, and this is a pocket from the kit, but you can use whatever you have for a pocket. And I've got this piece of washi tape, or faux washi tape, and I've actually printed two of these because I want to cut one of these up for one of the pages. So I think I'll start with this pocket. So I'm actually going to tear it. So just along the edge, I'm just going to tear that edge off. That. And I'm also going to tear this tag. Actually, I'm going to cut the bottom off first of all. About there. So sit next to that one. I'm just going to put a bit of ink on the bottom of that pocket too. And then I'm going to tear along this wing and around this kind of curved edge. I've cleared everything else out the way because I get in quite a mess when I do this, and I've also folded in the tabs on the pocket there. So now I need my glue, and I'm going to just put the glue following the white tear line there. So in some places it's going to be thinner, others thicker. Just kind of drawing around that line. It's kind of like that art of, is it called kintsugi? That Japanese method of when they repair pots, and so they kind of highlight the damage on the pots with gold rather than kind of trying to cover them up. They actually make a kind of feature of them. So I'll do a bit of that here along our ripped edge. So this one, I'm going to do the same thing around the edges, but I'm also going to highlight some areas of the wings with this. So I discovered this in the range, and it was only £1, but it's a glue pen. So I'm just going to draw in some of these areas. See these kind of veins on his wings here. We are. So let's see, will this leaf cover the whole? Not quite. I'm going to cut it in two. So I'm just cutting it with the paper on it, and then just going to see, actually let's use this bit slightly bigger. how much of it I can cover with this strip. Whoop. Right, that didn't go well at all. But anyway, right, let's start. So I'm just going to put the paper back on and rub it over the lines. Like that. It's very fine, so it's hard to actually pick up whole bits of it without tearing it. Just put those on the bits where it didn't catch. There we are. And then when I think everything's got a bit of gold on it, I'm just going to rub it with my finger. And then it just takes off all the stuff that's not actually stuck to the gold. Some of those bits they're still a bit sticky, that glue, so rolling the glue off a little bit. So I'll come back to that in a minute, clean that off some more, see if we can mop up any of this leaf for this one. Grab another bit for this. I can actually cut that into fours. Ooh. Sometimes it sticks to the paper better than others, but yeah. It sticks to everything else. I've got it all over my glasses. There we are, so lots of sparkly mess. It actually has stuck much better on that line than on this one, so it's a good idea to leave the glue to go off a little bit before you put the gold leaf on. But look how beautiful it is. Oh. So let's see if we can have a go at this one. The last bits that are not stuck. There we are. Ooh, beautiful veins on there. I do like that pen. I think that's great for things like this. So that's those two looking rather beautiful. I could actually draw some more lines on these leaves. I need to do those as well, but I might wait until they're in the journal just to see whether that's overdoing it a bit. Right, so I'm going to put those there. I'm going to clear this up before we do the next bit because it gets absolutely everywhere, as you can see by my hands, and it's all over my glasses and everywhere, so I can't really see now. Okay, that's a bit better. It's just me that's twinkling now. So I'll grab my journal. And I'll show you what we did last time. So we made this double-sided insert. So if you missed that one, I'll stick a link to it on the screen, but it flips so you can have it either way on your page, and it's got lots of pockets on both sides. So there'll be a link to that on the screen now. And then I did mark a page. Put these, this one, let's have this. Oh, actually, I'm going to take that out because make that page a bit easier to work into. It's getting quite full up now. So where's our pockets? These two. So I'm going to put that along that edge. And then I'm just going to kind of overlap that as a kind of tuck. So glue along these two. And so you can use that and that. So I'm just going to put some glue along the tabs. There we go. So I'm just going to tuck a tag in there. A minute. Don't want anything too shouty in that pocket because there's quite a lot going on that page. Don't want to detract from all the beautiful gold. And then over on this side, I'm going to create a kind of window pocket here. So I've got an old envelope, so I'm going to cut out the cellophane window. I'm just going to cut around the edge like that. So I've got a little bit of the actual envelope. And then, so I'm going to make a kind of frame here out of another one of these. So it's the matching pocket. How big do I want it? I'm going to flip it over actually and just straighten that edge. So cut off that wavy edge, keeping as much of it as I can. I'll just mark along there. And then I'm just going to cut that off using my paper cutter. And I'm going to get rid of these tabs as well. There we go. So I want it to sit across the page, probably to about there. So that kind of size. Maybe that would be quite nice. Upside now. I might have this side actually. So cut it there. Just make a little mark where that was. And now I want to draw a box within that. Not very straight. Straightish. So I'm just going to do it by eye. So draw around the edges, kind of using the edges to determine where the lines go. I think that is a bit off, that one. I'm just going to draw it like that. trim that. Might be a bit wonky. Let's redraw. This is all just to avoid measuring, which I do not like. Okay, let's do some measuring. So that one is about 13 centimetres. About there. And then that's about right. It's just a bit bigger. It's fine. And then that should now be about square, I think. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. Measure it out if you're better at measuring than I am, or like it more. Right, so I'm then going to get my punch and I'm going to put it right in that corner to make some rounded corners. Like that. And then in theory, when I cut these lines, then have a nice window with some rounded corners. If you don't like the knife, you probably can get a pair of snippy scissors in there. Got some little ones, some points. Ooh. So there we are, bit of a wonky frame, but it's done with some nice rounded corners. So I could use the gold leaf on this in the same way, but I think I'm going to use it actually on the ephemera for this piece so that it's not too matchy. So I've got this piece, which is kind of journaling card, and I think I'm going to cut it in half and use it in two different places. So one inside here, and I'm going to create a kind of index card. So I'll just cut that in half, and I'm going to grab this, which is just one of the little bits of ephemera, and I'm going to cut that in half to make some tabs like that. And if I grab my corner rounder, I'm just going to take the bits off the bottom like that, and I'll put a bit of ink on there as well. So you've got quite a nice shape for a tab. So I'm going to put one. Let's have a look. Yeah, one that way up. Actually, you can put some ink on this one as well at the top. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of that to make a tab. Stick it on there. And then this one, I'm going to create a belly band at the top of the page with this. So it's kind of like some faux washi tape. So I'll cut a piece of that off. Measure the page. Put it there. So I think I might put some gold edging on that. And then have this one down here without any gold on it. And I'll have the gold on this. a bit of ephemera to go in the pocket. And then this one, I think I'm going to have it going back up. So I'll do the same thing and round those corners. And then ink that. This one. Okay, so we'll put some gold leaf on some of this in a minute, but let's finish making this pocket and stick that down. I want my piece of cellophane. So it's a bit big, this one. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some glue just along the edge of the cellophane. And then stick it to the back of that window. And then I'm going to put, which way up do I want it? That way. Just going to put some glue along the two sides and along the bottom. Oops. Stick it at the bottom of the page like that. So for the belly band, I'm just going to put some glue around the edge, and it doesn't matter if it's a bit wobbly, so I'll probably just add a bit of interest. Actually, I might try and make one with or make a piece of ephemera with the pen, just see what the different effect is. So this one's just a kind of globby glue along there. Leave that to dry a little bit. And I'll come back to those two. So perhaps I'll make, well, this piece would go quite nicely with everything. So I'll make a little kind of journaling card, tiny one. A little tag, that could be, couldn't it? And then if I draw around this one with the pen, I imagine we'll get a much more kind of finished edge on that. So I'm just going to literally draw around the edge. That's that one. And then I also want to draw around this kind of purpley cloud that we've got going on here. And on this one, I'm going to use a bit of that pocket we didn't use. And I'm just going to rip a strip out of it. Actually, this bit would be better because we need the white bit's quite good. I mean, you can obviously put your glue along the edge anyway, but I think the white bit kind of gives you helps you with the randomness in a way. So glue along there. I'm going to put that across there. Oh, I'm getting a bit stuck now. Okay, let's move that out of the way and we can get our gold leaf back out. So these were the first two, weren't they? Let that one dry a little bit. I'm getting in such a mess. Okay, so I reckon probably can do that. 2 strips. It's a bit fractured, this. Not quite going where it should go anyway. Yeah, and then move some of it into the spaces that haven't got any on. Yeah, so it's taken some areas better than others, but I quite like that. It's not a solid line all the way around. So that's that one. And then this, hoover up some of this. And I need some more leaf. I'm going to cut a little bit more. Just put that over the top. Oh, not straight. There we are, so much more even edge on that one than that. And so the elves have been in again, tidying up. So we can now just crack on with the last few bits and pull it all together. So I'm going to stick this strip onto this card and stick the number on. See, this gold leaf is everywhere. That, which now I can see how very crooked that is, but never mind. And then tuck that in our glassine envelope pocket. Look at that. And then the belly band, where's that gone? I've thrown it on the floor. And so I'm just going to put a bit of glue either side, and put a fair bit of glue on there. So it's quite thin, and then just get across that page. And then, so this one, I'm going to put in there. With our little tag in there as well. I might just stick that underneath as well. There we are. So you can see the difference between the ripped edges and then just a straight edge, but with kind of a blobby glue. And then this really clear edge that you get with the pen. So yeah, I like them all really. Different, give you a different kind of finish on them. So there you are, one really blingy book. Let me know if you give it a go, what you do with it, and I'll catch up again with you next week. Have a good week. Bye for now.